How many years have come and gone since that day? How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one that stood alone against the storm. For the one they called. The warrior of light. We may accept this fate or defy it, but we cannot deny it.
Deny? I'm wont to run from my troubles. Until our friend returns, I will hold the line.
This town certainly has changed, and not at all for the better. I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Infilia.
So that's already a lot of information to take in, realistically speaking. Hello and welcome to the Shark Stream. Let me get our background music back up here. One moment. There we go. Hello and welcome to the Shark Stream. It's me, it's Gage, your host with the most. I just opened up character selection and there's nothing there. Oh no, there she is. Okay. Just a few spoilers. Well, no. So, okay. Today we're starting... So, obviously, today we're starting Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. We got a brand new thumbnail format to go with this. I was very excited to get into it. And, completely lost my train of thought in the middle of my sentence. Okay, right. So, let's talk about this. So, there's a bit of spoiler material in that, but again, you have to also keep in mind that for people who finished Stormblood, they were already seeing all this information as these trailers are coming out, and this is actually kind of important. This, like, of all of the trailers to see, this one is one of the most important to see prior to actually playing the expansion, because what we saw with Y'shtola, Urianger, Thancred in that trailer is essentially what they are up to prior to the start of the expansion. Like, everything that you saw them doing in that trailer are events that are going to be discussed when we actually start playing through the expansion. But, holy shit, there's all sorts of things there, like, Urianger's got a new fit, obviously. Y'shtola's being called Master Matoya for some reason. Thancred seems to be accompanied by a young girl who he is referring to as Minfilia. What the fuck does that mean? We've got monsters that were present in, I think, a Heavensward dungeon? The Crystal Tower is there? What's the Crystal Tower doing there? We don't know. Now, there's also a lot of like neat like little Easter egg things in that trailer. Like, we saw the Warrior of Light, who is often referred to, the stand-in Warrior of Light, the default Warrior of Light, who is often referred to as Meteor, flip through a few different classes over the course of that particular trailer, and those are actually all classes from different expansions. Most notably, he starts out as an archer or a bard, whichever one you really want to go with there, which is what his class was in the 1.0 trailer, which is super neat. From what I understand, this particular expansion has a lot of like 1.0, I guess, references in it. I'm not really sure how it works, because me personally, I wasn't playing during 1.0. I didn't start playing till Realm Reborn. And then after Archer, he goes to Warrior, which is what he had in the Realm Reborn trailer, Dragoon from the Heavensward trailer, and then both Monk and Samurai from the Stormblood trailer, before finally settling on the canon class for this expansion, Dark Knight. Now, Shadowbringers is actually where I started replaying the game. We're running a bit behind here, but we did have to get through that whole trailer, and these things, they run kind of long. I stopped playing years and years and years ago, within like the first couple patches for Realm Reborn. Mostly due to just like my interest kind of fell off due to some like drama between like some folks that I was playing with. I'm not gonna really get into it. It's not my place to get into it. But then I picked it back up around the time of like 5.55, like the final patch for Shadowbringers prior to Endwalker, and I just blitzed through the whole thing. Endwalker was the first expansion I saw brand new as it was coming out. So I got a lot of love for Shadowbringers, as do a lot of people who play Final Fantasy XIV. I would say that it's probably one of the most popular expansions just because of what it did for the story. And things are going to get kind of weird. Which you'll see. We got to figure out what's going on with the Scions. We got to figure out what's the deal with that enigmatic figure that like pulled us from Gimlet Dark. We got all sorts of shit to get to, so we should probably go ahead and get in there. This is also, of course, the expansion that introduced female Viera and male Hrothgar as playable races, and we will be running through as Gunbreaker. As you can see here, I played PvP for y'all to get this weapon, because I saw Cena Breyer using this weapon on her Wooklamat roleplay stream. And I was just like, that's a dope-ass weapon. I want to use that for Shadowbringers. I am also decked out in the Near Raid fit, because, quite frankly, I don't think there has been a better set of gear, aesthetically speaking, since the Near Raid. The Near Raid has the best looking gear, quite frankly. Gunbreaker, the only tank class meteor doesn't use as a class in an expansion. Not yet, anyway. But mostly that's because they gave it to Thancred. Thancred! Shadowbringers also introduced a bunch of, like, new mechanics. You've seen me using duty support this whole time. Shadowbringers was where they first introduced duty support and trusts. Which is what we're going to be using to go through some of the dungeons here. What was the other one? They also introduced Dancer, which you saw in the trailer being used by one of our new NPCs, Lena, who is one of my favorites, quite frankly. I love Lena. She's great. But yeah, I'm excited. I really like Shadowbringers, and I'm really excited to experience the story again. The Circus Trench. Tataru is itching to share what appears to be good news. What's up, Tatawu? Good news, Eigeld! We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. That's cool. Path I doubt we'd ever have found had the Ironworks and the Suns not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Then we better go give them a hand. My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. Uh-huh. There's a boat in North Silvertier waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Oh. Gorgeous, gorgeous melodies. But yes, so to go over this again, so the process of them adding just female Viera and just male Hrothgar is actually it's nothing new for 14, because in 1.0 I believe they only had female Mikote and they only had male Rogadin. And I think that was it. Like you had like male what the fuck are their elves called? I've already forgotten. Hold on. Elizin, that's it. You had male and female Elizin, you had male and female Hyr. And I believe you also had male and female Lalafell. So then, of course, Realm Reborn comes out. You get the male Mikote, you get the female Rogadin. Endwalker comes out, or no, Heavensward comes out. You get the Ora, and they launch with male and female variants. No added races for Stormblood, and then Shadowbringers, you get the male Hrothgar, you get the female Viera. And because of that, they go to great lengths to explain why there are no male Viera NPCs yet, and why there are no female Hrothgar NPCs. Like, it's very funny, because like the way that they explain it is that, like, oh yeah, male Viera they stay in the woods to protect the villages that are populated entirely by female Viera. And then I don't know what the lore reason for no female Hrothgar is, but there's one male Hrothgar character who is stated to have had a wife who died at some point in the past, just so that they won't have to make a female Hrothgar NPC. There will be one male Viera and Shadowbringers you can happen upon via deliveries. Yes. I don't know if he'll be there, but it's not something we have to worry about. We had to see her in a sense in Dawntrail. Yes. But that's neither here nor there. We're not at Dawntrail yet. Alright, so let's check in with everybody here. The others have left to search for the beacon. Weren't you joining them? Yeah, man. I'm getting there. Riol, my man, how are you? I'm holding the fort. Someone needs to keep an eye on the Empire after all. True. In the absence of the others, we must manage the affairs of the Rising Stones to the best of our ability. Would that we could do more. I pray this beacon you spoke of leads you to the others. Gods, where could they be? Who fucking knows? It is a mystery. I accidentally turned my work computer on somehow, which annoys me. Whoa. Okay. Let's go. Nope, not joining any fates. Fuck off. I'm on a mission. So, dude. Head into the survey site, madam. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. Take the boat? She's survey site? Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Hoary Boulder! Aye, Gale, the search continues, but I have no doubt we shall find this beacon of yours. Fuck yeah, man. Aenor, how you holding up? The Archons need our help. Next to that, even matters of the heart don't seem to matter. Good for you. I've detected no slavering beasts in the vicinity, my sister excepted. Haha, yeah. She wants to fuck the Boulder brothers so bad. The ironworks is out in force. Master Garland's orders. That towering edifice is the outer wall of the Crystal Tower's foundation. The Labyrinth of the Ancients, to be precise. I've been there. Coltonay. The air here weighs heavily upon me. 'Tis little wonder, I suppose, when standing in the shadow of such an imposing structure. Something that's going to become very important much later on is the knowledge that, yeah, this is also the expansion where the Crystal Tower raid became required reading, by the way. Think of that what you will. I don't think this is a voiced cutscene. They should do that with more side stuff like Eden raids.
Look how many people there are.
Oh, it is a voice cutscene.
Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Yeah, sure.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Biggs, when the fuck was the last time you were voiced?
Biggs! Wedge!
Oh, he's still down bad.
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business, so we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Sure, Wedge.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I love how Wedge is always quick to complain about extra work, but like the second Tataru is in there, he is like so eager to prove himself. You'll get her one day, King.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
I cannot stress enough how fucking good the Nier gear is. I fucking love it. What is this?
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Ugh.
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
I'll be alright, just give me a second.
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
And away we go! Yeah, this might as well happen. We.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Uh-oh. Benui? Hey, girl, hey?
Your time has not yet come.
Hey, I know that guy. It's thematically appropriate bloom. Oh god, did somebody get the license plate number of that truck that hit me? Purple.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
Oh, you know, this is that. Wait, what? Night? What do you mean this time of night?
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk yet, he'd reply. Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
Aww.
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
No thanks. I've learned a hard lesson about accepting drinks from strangers.
Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around.
Alright.
Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
The what? Brow furrow.
To dizzying heights it rises. The gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew. Between dark and light. The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
Shadowbunnies. We in there. We do it. All right. Well, being in a place where there hasn't been like a proper nighttime for nigh on a century is kind of an issue for Aigeld, somebody who feels very strongly about the night sky. So this is kind of the quest she's about to go on is kind of a big deal for her.
Halt!
Ma'am. Mommy? Sorry. Oh god, that just slipped out, didn't it?
In this city, I know. Yours, I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
I'll answer anything you want, babe. I mean, sorry.
From where do you hail?
I'm from Ul'dah.
Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists.
Okay.
Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
Girl, I ain't concealing shit. Oh boy. That's pretty cool. Oh, hey.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
Hey, wait a second. Oh no! Our boy Moose is like trying to get... Moose is like scratching at the door trying to get out, so I might need to take a second to go help him out.
Everything all right, Captain?
Oh, hey.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort her to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known.
Oh, you know. Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and let Moose out real quick. Come on. Get out of here. Maggie, do you want to come in? You say nothing. You gotta make up your mind. You can't stand here all day. Close the door. Alright. Let's get back in there.
Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Oh, you do not need to apologize, hon. Yeah. Sorry, I'm eating.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
Somehow I doubt you'll answer all of them, but you know. So, my name's Igeld. Who are you?
Right then. Before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
Is that what I did?
I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off.
Awful forward of
That
you.
you're still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief.
I see.
And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
Okay. I'm following so far. Are the Scions here?
That is a question with no simple answer. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you.
I don't like not having simple answers. I'm a very simple lady.
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above.
Oh yeah, I was wondering about that.
Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light.
That sounds bad. Is that bad?
It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost.
That sounds like a lot. Is that a lot?
And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now.
Fucked up if true. Sorry, I comment on everything when I'm nervous.
Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity.
That's a pretty sick name. You come up with that?
It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes.
I'm flattered, but you're not very good at this.
Though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try. For in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well.
Okay. I'm on board for that.
But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Yeah, okay. Da, 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 da. Ow.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
I like the Crystarium. I like it a lot. The Rotunda! Alright, big man. Oh, God. I am so sorry. And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. Thanks. Crystal Exarch has a request for you. What's good, small man? Short king. Little guy. Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my... I guess he would probably pronounce it privacy, huh? Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. But I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you to first gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. Okay. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetheryte, a convenience with which I'm sure you are only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail, find a connection in the source, believe it or not. This is how they explain why you can still travel to other locations from previous expansions despite traveling to an entirely different world, by the way. I know that, like, especially, like, people who, like, discuss things in terms of, like, a roleplay capacity, I know a lot of people get hung up on, like, the exact mechanics of Aetheryte travel, with regards to what's required for it and everything, but honestly, like, as these expansions have gone on, like, the exact, like, requirements and the complications of Aetheryte travel seem to have gotten less and less restrictive. And I think this is kind of where it starts, where it's just like, yeah, man, you can warp between, like, the source and the first. That's not a problem. It's easy. It's easy. And then, of course, it only gets, like, even more of, like, just a simple procedure in Endwalker, which we'll see when we get there. But yeah, it's just, Aetheryte travel's not a big deal, realistically speaking. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. Already did, man. Already did. We're good. Don't worry. After you've done so, walk up the steps to the next to the Aetheryte and head out to the left to arrive in the Crystalline Mean. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as the spokeswoman, Catless, one of the people I should like you to meet. With a little bonding. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's just like a couple guy. Like, we end up fine. Another is Morin. To reach him in his cabinet of curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps. Take the exit on the left, and simply continue straight along and down until you come to the large doors at the end of the path. The third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aetheryte Plaza. Yeah, alright. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Man, I'm already confused. Oh, crystal clear. Absolutely she would make a pun. Ha, very good. I can see the layout of Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long. There's a fly in my room. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. Fucked up. That being the case, when they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. Okay. When you've finished making the rounds, pray meet me in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then. Okay. Attuned to the Aetheryte. I've literally already done that, but okay. I need to check something real quick. Okay, cool. I need to make sure that Hazel is kitted out properly for Shadowbringers. By focusing your senses, you detect the flow of vastly different currents of ether. Your connection to these energies is faint but stable, and should allow teleportation to Aetherites in the source. Sick! Oh, now I gotta fucking talk to people. Ugh, sorry. Alright. Now, thankfully, I've already attuned to the entire Aethernet here, so I can just warp around. So let's start with, let's see, the first one he brought up was the Crystalline Mead, so let's go there. Excuse me. Oh, stretching my everything. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. Hey girl, hey, how you doing? I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized, too, thanks to us and me. We work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make the city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. That's cool. Just don't go thinking it'll be all handed to you on a plate like those Umoran layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. That's cool. What's the Umoran? Well, I see you're no stranger to honest labor. This fucking fly is bugging me. Hold on. Got it. You don't have the whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? Oh, bunny bunny but nunny but nunny but noy, but one of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and any friend of his is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. Fucked up. Wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. That's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. That's cool. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I thought it was an unspoken rule. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you've aught to contribute to that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. I'm not much of don't fucking talk to me about crafting. Just ask for Catless, and I'll find you a niche here in the crystalline mean. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greased and turning. Your exchange with Catless has taught you about life in the Crystarium. Coffee biscuits. I think I've done a couple of these already. At the very least, the fishing and alchemy ones. Alright, let's Cabinet of Curiosity. I partook in that meme for a little bit. I know Natalie did. I remember when I started Shadowbringers, Natalie was just like, yeah, you can usually find me in the Crystarium making coffee biscuits. Hey bro, hey. How's it going, big man? Huh? Excuse me, miss. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic roles, you see, and, well... What I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll even, a scrap of scribbled-on parchment? Huh? My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. That reminds me, I need to... So, I got Fall of Numenor. So, okay. Let me just... My work computer being on is starting to bug me. So you may recall some weeks ago, when I was still playing The Hobbit, I discussed how I was interested in the somewhat recently released book, The Fall of Numenor, which is basically just a collection of the writings on the Second Age in Lord of the Rings. And that I was interested in reading it, but couldn't find out if it was, like, a decent resource for learning about the Second Age, just as, like, somebody who hasn't read a whole lot of the Legendarium. And, thankfully, I did receive a helpful comment on the YouTube upload of that highlight, indicating that it sounded like it was probably a useful resource, which I appreciated. So I did end up receiving that for Christmas, and I did start reading it, and I have been enjoying it. I'm hoping that this is going to be sort of like my dip in the toes, my dip in the toes, dipping my toes into... What the fuck am I trying to say? I'm hoping that this is going to be what gets me to actually, like, properly read more of Tolkien's work. I saw some really nice hardcover illustrated editions of The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and the Silmarillion. Dipping the toes, writing that one down. That were on sale in the lead up to Christmas. I'm not sure if they're still on sale or not. But they were pretty expensive. So I am kind of hoping to maybe pick those up if I can. But like the last time that I tried to read any of that, I found it very dense and difficult to like really kind of get into. So I'm hoping this is what is going to be like my kind of jumping off point. And I do need to read more of it. I also, in terms of things that books I got for Christmas, I got Frozen Hell, which is the expanded version of the book of the novella Who Goes There, which is what The Thing from Another World, The Thing, and The Thing 2011 are all based off of. that I'm also excited to start checking out. While I was on my vacation, I also finished reading Ninth House, which is a novel by Leigh Bardugo, which is really good. And I went ahead and also picked up its sequel, Hellbent. This is all on the recommendation of friend of the stream, B, of Team Catapult, who had nothing but good things to say about those books. So I'm very excited to check them out. I'm going to check socials media real quick. Give me a moment. Alright. Librarian Moran, at your service. This humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. Neat. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. It seems like you're doing a great job. This place is fucking stacked. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Bunny bunny but nunny banoy but nunny. Aho, so you've an interest in modern history. Splendid! A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives, I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment, and I'll fetch it for you. I do like pictures. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable? On with the lesson, then. Huh? What? Okay. A 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadow Keeper, a steward of darkness. Okay. We're off to a weird start. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Villains called the Warriors of Light, huh? Given her origins, how well can Aigeld read? I forgot to spell her name, sorry. Aigeld is spelled A-I-G-E-A-D. And at this point, she can read pretty well, to the point that she reads for leisure. I won't say that she couldn't read, period, when she first turned up in Thanalan, outside the ruins of Karn. The process of gaining, like, the sapience and knowledge that she had, managed to, like, put her in a pretty good state in terms of, like, just knowing things, having a rough idea of just, like, what's the state of the world, and also gave her some reading ability. But she did sort of need to just kind of, like, cultivate and sharpen that ability over time. So I would say that, like, at this point, in the story, she is able to read pretty well, but she does still appreciate books like this that have, like, visual accompaniments. Yet just when it seemed like that all would be lost, a savior appeared before us, the Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrant, and Norvrant alone, spared the fate of Eratia. The Oracle of Light? Huh. She seems kind of familiar. tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These sin-eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from northern sky. Even now they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. Flesh, flesh, flesh. Damn, fucked up if true. Yes, it is. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company. Your exchange with Morin has taught you about the Flood of Light. Sick, dope, awesome. The contents of a book may be immutable, yet depending on one's perspective, the lesson one learns may be different indeed. In other words, I am very much in favor of revisiting a story one has already read. Yeah, man. I also like playing New Game Plus. Whee! I'm okay. I have so much health, it's fine. Alright, let's pop over to Musica Universalis. I'm gonna go get that book, actually. Hold on. Like, part of the issue with, like, part of the issue with, like, me, like, actually reading things that I want to read is that, like, it needs to be, like, within reach of wherever I'm hanging out. So, like, for example, this was on, like, the other side of the room on one of my bookshelves. And, thus, like, I think about it, like, all the time. Just like, I should really continue reading that. And then I look up and it's all the way over there. It's just like, it's all the way over there. So having this nearby is definitely going to help. This is a really nice, like, I really like hardcover books more than anything. I like the weight of them. I like the texture of them. I like being able to do that. It's a good time. My knee itches. Alright, where are we headed? Oh, right, this way. Bragi. Bragi is our first Hrothgar NPC. Look at this guy. Sure is shops in here. New to the city, friend. The spinning head and wide eyes give you away. So, dude. Welcome. My name is Bragi, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for V's such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, did you say V's? Something wrong? Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The short one's a Hume. Is Hume what they're called in FF11? I want to say that most of, like, okay, so because we're on the first rather than the source, the names of the races are different. Some of them are pulled from other FF14 games, or not FF14, other FF games, which we'll see in a second. Whereas I want to say others are like just kind of brand new, because I believe the Aura are entirely unique to FF14. I believe. And the taller one is an elf. And Elizin are just elves here. Sturdy individual over there is a Galgant, whilst the one with the horns is a Drawn. And then you have the large scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zun. These are our Emulja-likes. Yeah, or our 14 creations. Hello, wife. Welcome. And I'm V's? Which is apparently not the name you know them by. I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. Ah, bunny banani banoi. Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they've floundered over the simplest thing. I'm sorry, did you say recent years? But not to worry, should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Your exchange with Bragi has taught you about the peoples of the First. And actually, on the topic of them using terminology from other Final Fantasy games, I've been calling them Hrothgar this whole time. But here on the First, they're called the Ronso. Just like ya boy Kimari. FF10 is one of my favorites, so I think that's really neat, personally. Oh god, he's all the way over there. You couldn't have just been like a little bit closer, my guy? Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Yeah, I got these, like, scraps of paper. Check it out. Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but 'twas necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As with the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the selfsame one you know from the source, transported to the First in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. And although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. Fucked up. Yeah, it's part of why I went Proth for a bit in Shadowbringers. Lack of hats and Hunchback killed me, though. Tragic. Ugh. Meanwhile, when did I change to Viera? I changed to Viera really early on in Heaven's Word, when I was playing this when 5.55 released. So I've just been raw dogging the lack of hats and hairstyles all this time. But things have gotten better. The Pelu Pelu hat that you get for the current Allied Society quest does work with Viera. And I was very excited to find that out. The Crystal Exarch is finally ready to discuss the matter of your comrades' whereabouts. Thank fuck. You've done as I requested and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain and explained what has befallen your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. Just like that? Then Grahatia is... I'm not familiar with that name. Is there something I should know? Bunny Bunny Banani Banoi. An extraordinary tale. But I'm afraid I found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed into my care. Mayhap we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it best that we focus on the present. Don't ask questions. Goodbye. That's fair, haha. I went Miko, ARR, Aura, Heaven's Word to Shadowbringers, Hroth, base SHB, back to Miko, 5.1 to current. Yeah, I started out as a male Aura, and then went Viera once I got into Heavensward, because it's just like, I think around that time I had finally like bought Shadowbringers, because I was still working off like the base game at that time. That was all I had. And I hadn't unlocked the other stuff yet. But then eventually, like, I decided, okay, I'll just go ahead and get Shadowbringers. Because essentially all I had done was, like, restart my sub. And at that point, I was just like, haha, what if I change to a Viera? Wouldn't that be funny? And here we are. Greetings, madam. The Exarch awaits you within. Female Viera to male Viera, because I wanted to start male Viera, but Endwalker wasn't out yet. I getcha, I getcha. And then, of course, I worked that transition from male Ora to female Viera into Eigeld's story. Looking around, looking around. Smells like voiced cutscene in here.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the First. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the First for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well.
Yeah, I'll accept that as an explanation.
As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch.
Also, they showed up naked.
Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
Well, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. What have they been doing all this time?
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift.
Oh, that Urianger, always experiencing visions.
In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the First was rejoined with the Source.
Oh, that's cool.
This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes.
Less cool.
Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die.
Oh, that can't be true. I'll never die.
And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity.
Oh, 1 second.
Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events.
Alright, I gotta be right back. Alright, I'm back. And yeah, it's a Xenoblade Chronicles X song. I thought of the line, not even a distant land, we stuck on a whole different planet. I'm just like, no, I need to use that for the first Shadowbringer stream.
I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home.
Sure, man.
What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
I guess? Aye, but I'll see you keep that promise.
Excellent. You will not regret this.
That remains to be seen.
With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Sure. All right. Where are we headed? Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I have been informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants. Because the occupant died. Which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. Alright. Could I just use the Ethernet? Yes. But also, running. Consider. Running and yumping. This cutscene seems like it might be voiced, but it could just as easily go the other direction.
This is the Musica Universalis.
Oh, it's voiced.
The commercial heart of the Crystarium. What you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough.
Oh, thank goodness.
Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here.
Oh, that's
And as
convenient.
our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter.
I have such a pretty warrior blight. I'm sorry. The Yorha gear really brings it out in me. My warrior blight looks so fucking good.
Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower. Some of which may be familiar to you.
Oh, yeah? Bro, are those fucking tombstones? Huh? It's fucked up that tombstones are just smartphones.
But
She is
I fear it will
already
not be practical
exhausted.
For us to provide everything to which you are accustomed, you shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld. Avan Kerm Sin?
What did you say? Oh.
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
Oh, you're adorable.
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine lady is a friend from a distant realm.
Hello.
And we have
My name
many
Igild.
means to ferry things back and forth from her home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift.
I did.
How wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do.
Thanks. You got fucked up
After
collarbones.
careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin.
I'm sure I won't regret that.
But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
Yes. All the same that they should be.
Just as I thought. Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass.
Oh, thank goodness.
From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Sne Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other.
Cool.
Raise your hand.
Just do it. Just do it. Just humor them. All right.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Okay, you're like concerningly eager about this.
Mayhap her message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's send a message to Tau. Bunny bunny banani banoy.
Consider it done.
Bunny bunny banani banoy it is.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings.
Cool.
They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium.
As one does. It's a nice place.
Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
Aight. Alright. As a result of your pact with Feo Ul, you now have access to delivery moogles, market boards, and summoning bells while in the first. This is basically how we justify being able to do retainer stuff. Dependence. The one thing that Feo Ul can't do, however, is hairdressing. So if we ever want to change our hair, we have to go back to the source. Welcome to the Pendants, miss. You're here with the Exarch. Yeah, man. Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at the Pendants for the duration of your stay, to make use of as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray, rest, and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the ocular anon. I believe that covers all of the practical concerns. Huh? Thank you for answering my call, Eigeld. We are denied the comforting blanket of night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. Okay. Pleasure to meet you, miss, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready, if you'd care to retire. Yeah, let's go check it out. Damn. Sweet digs. This is a big room. Honestly, this is bigger than most, what's the word I'm looking for? Most inns that I would stay at back in the sauce. The sauce. Nothing will happen here. It'll be a calm sleep. Why would anything happen? Still not a big fan of the constant light in the sky, but, you know, we'll make it what we will. You? Huh? What?
You.
Oh. This one's voiced. Okay. Hi? It's you! Sir, dude!
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source.
And you're the warrior of darkness. How's it hanging, buddy? You're looking ghostly. The warrior of darkness?
What? Did you just... You can hear me?
Should I not be able to?
Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The warrior of darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the source. A daft one, looking back.
So, just to cover this again, when we last saw him in the source back during the Heavensward patches, he was referred to by one of his companions as Arbert, A-R-B-E-R-T, but his actual name is Ardbert, which is very funny, actually. But yeah, this is Ardbert. He's gonna be our companion for a little bit, and he has been here for 100 years with no one to talk to. My god, this poor man. I like Ardbert. We like Ardbert here on the Shark stream. Sir, you could try harder for a fake name. Yeah, all of his friends tried a lot harder.
If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys were villains, apparently?
We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians.
That was your first mistake.
Let them guide us to the source.
Well, your second mistake, really.
And tried to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia. How she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the first.
And just as a reminder, they're based on the Warriors of Light from the Realm Reborn trailer.
The flood was poised to swallow Norvrand. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness.
Fucked up.
Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
Oh man, this is, you might want to sit down for this. Bunny bunny but nutty benoy 100 years.
100 years. 100 long years.
Yeah, dude, you must be so bored. You poor thing.
My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear.
You seem
I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift.
Bro, you seem remarkably well adjusted for someone who's in your position. Man, my chair is so creaky.
I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
Well, it's a funny story, actually. Bunny bunny banunny banunny banoy bunny 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 banunny banunny bunny bunny banoy banunny.
You were summoned to save the first.
Yeah, that's about the long and short of it.
A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it.
Well, that's no attitude to have.
Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured.
Yeah, probably.
If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end.
We're gonna figure it out together, buddy, you and me.
Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Well, it's gonna need to make room for at least one more. Me. This gal, right here. Honk shoe. Honk shoe. Snork me 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 me. Alright, I'm up. Alright, another day, another dollar. Let's get out there. I remember coming into this room and randomly finding a bird staring at me. I love that bird. Can't wait to meet that bird. Oh, do I need anything mended? Unavailable in New Game Plus mode. Okay. Guess I can't get shit fixed. That's fine, probably. Maybe I just haven't unlocked the ability yet. Alright, we gotta go to the ocular, so let's not make this longer than it needs to be. Docile Gate, here we go. God, that bird. Love that bird. It's a good bird. Excuse me, sir, can I go inside? Mr. Zygeld, the Exarch awaits you with it. Enter the ocular? Fuck yeah, man. Let's fucking go. What's up, fucker?
Ah, how did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
There was a ghost in there, but otherwise, yeah. I had a ghostly visitor.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
Sure thing. He's probably here thinking that, like, I'm hallucinating. Ooh, fun map.
This map shows the lands of Norvrand, The only area to be spared, the flood of light.
Oh, that's not a very big area.
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland.
Okay.
To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger.
Okay.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Raktika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest.
Once prosperous, he says.
Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty.
Damn, alright.
As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement.
Uh-huh.
Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armareng. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters.
And yet they still live there.
In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
Yeah, that makes sense for Alice. I remember reading Il-Meg is basically the first Ishgard. Oh, yeah.
So, will it be Calicia or Armarang? It matters not which you choose to visit first.
Yeah, each of these is each of these is basically kind of like one-to-one with the lands of Eorzea minus like Garabania. So like Raktika is basically the Black Shroud. Amarang is basically Thanalan. Oh god. What's the land around Yulmar called? Because that's basically just Yulmar is basically Limsa Lominsa, as well as Lenosia, and then Il-Meg is Ishgard. Il-Meg is basically Ishgard before it got fucked up by ice. Estinian would hate Il-Meg so much. I want to take him there. Oh, he'd hate it. You remember how much he hated the Mughals?
And I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount.
Kalusia, that's it.
Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of
A
cities.
new companion, you say. Hello, Kale.
Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Yeah, that sounds like Thancred. Okay, so we have a choice now. We can go. So this is our standard branching early expansion branching path. As you recall, we had a similar one in Heavensward. And then we had another one in Stormblood. So for this one, we can either choose to go track down Alphino or go track down Alice. Now, I think we're going to hold off on Alice. We're going to do Alphino first. Because I feel like maybe we need to be a bit prepared for what we're going to find when we go see Alice. And also, the events that take place after you finish these are more directly tied to what you find in, or what you see in Alice's path. So we're gonna go check in with Alphino real quick. In search of Alphino. Crystal Exarch is eager for you to meet with Alphino. you see Alice first, she'll limit break you immediately. Alice has some horrors. You'll visit Alphino and Kalusia then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here is a letter of introduction, presented to Sem Genmai, the Master of Beasts at Temenos Rookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Sure, man. Oh, I love the quest accept jingle for Shadowbringers. It's so fucking good. Also, he's technically the one you've seen not as recently. It's true. It's been a hot minute. Plus, we can meet some NPCs who will eventually become the best. Oh yeah, there's some good NPCs over in Kalusia. There's also a dude who sucks.
Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery?
I got his letter. You're invited to Smash Brothers.
Oh, sick. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an armor for passage to Kalusia. I will pick out a friendly whelp.
Not a chocobo, then.
Chocobo? Do you hear from one of Norvrant's more isolated settlements, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. But here in the Crystarium, mounts like that grey fellow there are far more commonly used. You can get one if you get all of the classes, the jobs that were released as of Shadowbringers up to level 80.
There's several dudes who suck in Kalusia, but yes, look at those cute dogs. There's several dudes who suck all over the place here. I got the Amuro recently. I got the good boy. I love these fucked up flying camels.
Seeing as you're plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zun worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts.
Okay. They're good fucked up camels. They are. I love them. Love to own one day. How much... Hold on. How much do I have to get through? I still need to start Marauder. I'm 34 for Paladin, 62 for Dragoon, 51 for Ninja. I'm 1 level away for Samurai. Still need to start Archer, Astrologian, and Scholar. Oh, boy. I got a bit of a ways. They definitely don't make me cry. Why would an armor make you cry? Or at least as like good news about Scholar, just level Summoner. Yeah, no, I know. I know how that one works. Hey, bro. Hey, my bromide.
You want to fly in a Amaro to Kalusia? Well, I suppose if Master Genmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly.
You can now travel to Kalusia, speak with the aspiring Amaro tamer to fly to the island. You can also use your Ether Compass to assist with locating Ether Currents in new regions. The Ether Compass can be found in a collection in the duty section of the main menu. I've already got all those. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Norvrant, Kalusia. So, I believe a running theme as you go to each of the locations is this idea of, like, stagnation. Which we're going to learn a bit more about that as we get, especially once we get to Ilmeg. We're going to learn about how essential the way that the Flood of Light kind of, like, spiritually and metaphysically affects the world. we're going to be getting a little bit of that with just like each area. And this also ties into the use of Black Rose back on the 1st. It's like a whole thing. It'll become a bit more clear as we as it gets broken down. Thematically consistent. Exactly. Hey man, thanks for the ride.
We all arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Kalusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of.
Aww. Cool city. How'd they build it like that?
Spy you that city in the distance. That is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations.
I see.
For years, the Yulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They've gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection if we bend the knee. To say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city.
Okay.
I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely.
Okay. Oh, I just noticed something. After cutscene. Okay, what did you notice? There's a bunch of fucked up dudes on the beach. Oh. And a Goobu that disappeared. I think that was probably someone's mount, if I had to guess. Hey Gage, that sure is a rocky beach, isn't it? I suppose it is, yes. Hey, how is sand formed again? You got me, I don't know what we're referencing here. There's an island out there. I don't think I can go to that. Yeah, no, I can't go to that. A still tide. Whatever Zem Junmai has to tell you, he plainly deems it worthy of your undivided attention. So sand is what happens when rocks are ground down by constant wave and tidal motion. Right. So because there really isn't any tidal motion, there's not really a whole lot of sand. It's just all rocks.
If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Eibor. Eibor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kalusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme. Thyme. Right, yeah, because of the flood. Anakin would love this place. Yeah, because there's no sand. That will let him know you can be trusted. Yeah, that should be enough. Find your friend. I will stay here with the Amuro until you are ready to return.
Aight. Oh, right. Come on, big guy. Oh no, there are just Goobus here. Well, they're not Goobus, but... Look at these fucking guys. Look at these fucked up little men. Why are they like this? Who can say? I hope everybody appreciates my commitment to constantly putting my Chocobo in appropriate garb for the areas that we're in. This is what she's going to be wearing the entire expansion. Oh, hold up. We gotta go up here. Sup, fucker?
What are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you have a taste for them.
I got this.
Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. What is it I can do for you? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Bunny bunny banunny banunny banoy. Alphino, eh? Aye, I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Yulmore is richer than all of Norvrand put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend their every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. Aye, I can hazard a guess as to where he is now, get a message to him. But you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see that Alphino joins you. Aye. How do I... Yeah. Woo! Well, that theoretically the goblins and the sorcerer are just as fucked up. Wait, is that what goblins are supposed to look like under the masks? I'm kind of glad they don't take them off now. I didn't think about that. Listen, I know that, like, the front of the masks are supposed to be, like, filled with, like, herbs and stuff, like sweet smells, but to me, that's just what their noses look like. Anyway. Ma'am. Yes, dear. Buy a drink or out you go. The seats are for paying customers. It's okay, I'll stand. Hope you don't mind my bird being in here. She's very well behaved, usually. This is your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? I'll have water. A fine choice. And what'll you be paying with? I got Gil. Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Ah, here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. Alright. The bird is paying for the drink. Hello, G-Man. Welcome. I've been thinking about something recently regarding... So something I feel like I've been noticing just sort of like as expansions have been going along is that it feels like even though like the threats that we face in like the other expansions feel like just as big of threats as like anything else, there've been times where I honestly feel like we're getting to a point that they're kind of trying to file down like the rough edges of some of the content. Like, okay. A bit of spoilers here. Well, not spoilers necessarily. I'm in regards to, hold on. What am I trying to say? So, right now in Dawn Trail, the newest Allied Society quest is the Pelu Pelu, who are one of the many races in Tural, the area that Dawn Trail takes place in. And the whole idea of that Allied Society quest line is that you're helping them create a travel agency, and it's just like, oh, that's fun, a travel agency to help bring some funds into like the areas that need it, and to show off the beauty of Tural. That's cool.
And I mean, it's nice, but like, for a lot of like the previous expansions, it felt a lot like there were like genuine like threats or concerns with the Allied Society quests. Like, you look at like the shit that you did for like the Amalja in Realm Reborn, or like everything having to do with the Vanu Vanu in Heavensward. Endwalker Society tribe is setting up Uber Eats. Yeah, you're fucking setting up a goddamn food delivery service. You're setting up a cafe at the end of the fucking universe. You're setting up therapy for little bunnies. Like, it's just sort of like, and I mean, I guess thematically it kind of makes sense because like more and more these quests are taking place after the threat has been dealt with. But at the same time, like, it feels more and more low stakes. And I mean, you know, I like playing through those quests, but like, I feel like I wasn't as invested in like how the Pelu Pelu quests played out as I was in, say, like even like the Pixies in Shadowbringers, when you do like the Pixie quests, you know? It's weird is all I'm saying. Like, it's kind of strange. And I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how much I like it compared to other expansions, you know? I feel like the Pixie quests are about on par with the bunnies, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. With the Pixies are very, very on par with the bunnies just because in terms of like how those go thematically. But it feels like there is some kind of a threat in the Pixie quest line, you know? Not so much maybe in like the Dwarf quest line, but all right, Hazel. Let's see what we can do here. Consider die. Thank you. Alright, oh, we got another one over here. Stormblood and below have more threat to them. The ARR societies are like exceptionally high stakes for their respective groups, like especially the Sahagin. It's hard to find other societies that match that level of stakes. I firmly believe it can be done. I feel like they just have it. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Are these squapes? I think these are squapes. They're not as rounded off as the ones in Endwalker. Y'all, we found the squapes. The squapes endure. Look at those hard edges. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. They're not quite as hard-edged as the original Endwalker squapes. Well, it appears more like later stuff has more of the people on equal terms. The lower stuff has more early FF14 writing. True. But again, I do still appreciate like how much stakes the early Endwalker or the Realm Reborn stuff had. Also, Realm Reborn has Lun Ga, and we here at the Shark Stream, we stan Lun Ga. Lun Ga is a delight. Oh, hold on. Die. Die? Perhaps? Thank you. Thank you for die. Alright. I do not remember who that... She's the cat girl from the Amalja quest line.
No response. Maybe you need to knock louder. Alright, hold on. No response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing? You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. Hey, what's going on in here? No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Damn, fucked up. Alright, Hazel, let's head on back. And it would be nice to be able to replay those. Lunga rules. Highest stakes was Namazu quest, clearly. Oh, absolutely. If you haven't done the Namazu quests, then they're already all dead. Hey, I got rid of the pests, but, welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Bunny Banunny. Gone? He's left to join the rest of the hopefuls. Aww. In Gate Town. Outside Yulemore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I've even thrown another drink on the house. Cool, more water. Oh, you got blue? Yo, can I have some blue?
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
I forgot about Alphino's outfit for this expansion.
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Or wait, is this the outfit he keeps, or does he change? So, dude.
'Tis good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, how you been? What the fuck were you doing with goddamn Gaia's Balesar?
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphino, you really are a dear.
No, is that? That's right. He has the outfit that was one of the ones that went up on the cash shop, and people were like, oh, you can just get these armor pieces. He's a year older and looks nothing different. Well, let's be fair. He's not actually a year older, because he doesn't technically have a corporeal form. He's just a very dense soul walking around, basically.
Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
Hey, bro. Hey, my bromide.
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu.
God, it has been that long, hasn't it?
It's been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
That's a good point. What fucking, like, hold on. Hold on. Oh, by the way, the Hunt Down the Freeman, VOD did get blocked on copyright grounds. So, I'm currently working on appealing that decision. It's fun. Did you know that YouTube's copyright claim system does have an option for fair use? Or for, public domain works? What did we do? No, it was Skeleton Dance. It was Skeleton Dance that got copyright claimed. So I got to send a dispute that's just like, hey, this is fair use as of yesterday. So that's fun. All right, hold on one second. We're gonna... So this is
this is the 83rd Final Fantasy XIV stream we've done. And I think last we saw Alphino, I'm pretty sure... I think we spent 3 streams doing the Four Lords, I believe. So last we saw Alphino would have been part 76. So if we don't include the Hildebrand quest stream, and we only include what I have been playing as part of my... Hold on. If we only include what I've been playing as part of my New Game Plus, then it has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streams since since Eigeld has technically last seen Alphino conscious. Oh god, what was it that he said? Hold on. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I have spent here, but the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well. Me? I was more worried about you.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding.
Yeah, well, you kind of deserve
I
it.
believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Oh, man. It was fucked up. Let me tell you. Bunny bunny banani banoi banani 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 bunny bunny banui banani bunny bunny bunny.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable.
Yeah, not so much.
And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
Smile. Uh-huh.
But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity.
I would also like to do that.
Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Oh, right. Alphino would have seen them.
Mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin-Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity.
But because they suck. They suck so bad.
I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world,
it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Bro, you do not even need to ask twice.
And so we take to the road once more.
Hell yeah! Let's McFucking go. Blah, 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 blah. Hazel, get off the table. Open arms, closed gate. Alphino is ready to take to the road once more. Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulemoor, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west and then cross a small bridge. Alright, man. It's Hazel's table. One of the things that I actually quite like about Shadowbringers is it takes a lot of opportunities to kind of prove that while the Warrior of Light is extremely capable, and it is generally a good idea to have them on your side, if they weren't there, then generally speaking, there are so many other people in the world who are just as capable, you know? Like, we're going to see some of that as we're going along, but, like, you saw in, like, the trailer, like, Urianger, Y'shtola, and Thancred handling shit, right? Like, there is a degree of implication that if the Warrior of Light wasn't there, things still have a pretty good chance of turning out okay. Usually. There's certain situations where, like I said, the Warrior of Light is kind of a necessary element to have in play. They could handle shit so well in the intro that they turned it into a raid boss. And a mount. I have that mount, actually. Alright, hold on. God, really? Alright. Why can I not mend my shit? I was very excited to get that mount. It was hard work gathering up all those nut sacks. Hello, Alphino. Kalusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are all much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! Get away from me! Over there! Quickly, someone's in trouble. And away we go. Gathering up nutsacks is the plot to Dan to Dan. I still haven't gotten that far into that. I need to watch more episodes of it. Excuse me, ma'am. Is this guy bothering you? Oh, thank the fates. Look out! We're good. Love me, forgiven cowardice. Good shit. My poor heart. Thank you, young miss. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work.
Are you all right, ma'am? Just a few bruises from where I fell, nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulemore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lass like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. Alright. 10 out of 10 peak monster design. All the Sin Eaters are pretty good, quite frankly. 'Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulemore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Yeah, not a whole lot. Brief history, then. 'Twas not long after the flood swallowed the better part of the world that the Sin Eaters first appeared, some beastly, some beauteous. Yet regardless of their form, all seem incapable of speech, and all are driven by the same insatiable appetite for mortal ether. They are predators, and we are their prey. Kalusia suffers from far fewer attacks than most regions, but even so, the list of the Sin Eaters' victims grows longer by the day, a tragedy without end. Cobweb. Cobweb. I don't like the Sin Eaters that are literally just normal enemy mob, but it's white now. And one of these days I'm going to seriously think of what my wall would look like as a Sin Eater. For fun, nothing else. I know Natalie's thought about it. I've tried to give it some thought, but I don't know how that would work with Eigeld. Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Alright. Something that I really like about Shadowbringers is when I started this expansion and kind of learned the general conceit of the world, like the state of it, what the threat was, and everything, I kind of expected it to be a bit more dire, you know? Like, more, I guess more like a Nier kind of situation where it's just sort of like a constant parade of despair, and any attempt to do things with the best intentions in one way or another inevitably turns sour. But it's actually kind of nice to like see people still trying to live their lives, you know? Even in the face of everything going on, they're still trying to persist. And then we got Endwalker, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is a bit more what I was expecting out of Shadowbringers, actually. But, more on that later. Much, much later. And here we are. Here we are indeed. Hoo boy, level 83 zone. Endwalker went, so about those horrors. Bro, why am I stanced up?
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulemore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh?
I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
I wonder if these two are supposed to be, like...
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all! Yulmore extends its warmest regards.
I wonder if these two are supposed to be the first version of those 2 that we fought at the end of midway through Gimlet Dark. Or was it the end of Gimlet Dark? It might have been the end of Gimlet Dark, I think. Oh, hey, it's these 2 chucklefucks. They are a reference. The Red Jongler.
Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine.
Oh, I saw the Jongler. Well, I saw the Jongler the second.
Master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
Now, I know that makes Yulmore sound bad. But we are going to meet a couple of the most wonderful NPCs in the patch, or in the expansion in there.
Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Oh, she's so happy. And everyone's so happy for her.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
It's a butt.
For you. Enjoy.
Wow, they really like that stuff, huh?
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well.
Completely harmless food.
Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity.
Everyone loves butts. It's true.
It just seems... Well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
I bet it tastes like really good, like, restaurant bread. You know, like the stuff they bring out before, like, they take your order. Huh? Okay, weird. Yeast rolls. That was weird. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via a contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy has been in place for the past 2 decades, ever since Yulmor's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I have seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I have tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I wonder that... Well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, hold up, there's stuff back here. Like really good yeast rolls, pre-buttered. Just don't ask about the secret ingredient. Foreshadowing is a literary device. Hello, Mr. Bloke, first name begrimed. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmor's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but at least it's safe. And the meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. Alright, man. It's farts. God. Go, take measure of Gate Town. I shall wait here. This is like down? Not sure. Or no, it's up. We gotta go up. Oh, it's right there. A large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks, meal you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Can y'all, like, talk more so that its farts isn't on, like, the screen anymore? Oh, shit, hold on. I always love finding one of these that I missed before. Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Lookouts give you experience. I don't fucking care. Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, will they ever pick me? I'm not that down bad for experience, given that, like, I can just go to society quests. Tio Reek. Oh, wait. No. Same first name. Excuse me. Not a family name. Alpha. Hello, Ion Agenda. This is why you do not have the flying camel. I don't have the flying camel because I don't want to go around, like... Because I don't want to play the other classes, that's all. You've seen what Gate Town has to offer. These people can no longer fend for themselves. They become dependent on handouts of meal and believe Yulmor is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way to live. Fucked up, if true. Alphino wears a look of profound disapproval. Bro, why your disapproval so profound? You disapprove of Yulmor. Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Mayhap it is that uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters. However unjust the system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Yulmor's largesse are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and untended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced that Yulmor's generosity truly serves the best interests of Kalusia's people. Yet I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all of this. Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hardworking... Mitty, what are you doing down there? I'm hearing, like, scraping against stuff. At the sight of hardworking villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked from the poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Umor's gates. It is fortunate that you arrived when you did, Argeld. I have been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. There is a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo, they are called, though you and I know them as Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos, and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Tataru took such great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular. When I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely even the most jaded Yulmoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. I'm proud of you? My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Sure, man. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, then, we must pay a visit to Moshamoa, my supplier and right. Come, it is just to the northwest of here. Oh, hey. Hey, who's this guy? Seems like a cool dude. Seems like he could be a proprietor of a strip club at some point. Don't worry about it. Alright, where's right? It's over that way. Don't worry about it. Okay, then I shan't. Good. This is Moshamoa, the farmer of whom I spoke. Hey, girl, hey? Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshamoa. This is my associate, Igeld. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mr. Lad, short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed... Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. You should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point on the south side of the town, and I shall take the west. Forgive me, I had no cause to doubt the lad. Still, he shouldn't be too hard to spot with that blue hair of his. Mosha Mosha, I gale des. I haven't had to answer a single link pearl yet. No reason to put my fingers up to my ear. Search surroundings for a male mistle with short blue hair. You may move the cameras as well as zoom in and out. Target a likely suspect and inspect him with R2 or X. I feel like I remember getting to this point and having trouble because I hadn't learned what the fuck a mistle was yet. Hold on, is that fuck-ass bird around here? Yeah, I see him. Hold on. Aha!
This creature is making no effort to avoid detection, and is also not a Mistle. Love getting this quest on Delina, a Mistle with short blue hair. Excuse me, sir. You have located your quarry. I love... I forget this kid's name. We'll learn it in a second. Eigelt. Any sign of him? Yeah, he's over there. You've a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape. Sup, fucker?
There you are.
Ahem.
The thief who claimed the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it.
I forgot that this was what his voice sounded like.
No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Right. Okay. So I like Kai Shear because I feel like he's like the first prominent like time that you have to reckon with the fact that like, oh yeah, Mikote straight up do not have ears on the side of their head. They just have the cat ears. And it's kind of weird, you know?
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be your more or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Ulmoran's interest.
You say as Viera had the same issue. It's true. Like, what the fuck are the arms of my glasses resting on?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
So yes, short-haired Viera look kind of weird.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you.
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death.
I guess?
I do not regret my decision. Yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world. That countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
That's not who you are.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfido, ever the slave to sentiment.
That's a pretty good Estinian impression.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then? Is that?
What? What's up?
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
Yeah, all right. God, I love the characters doing impressions of each other. It's great. The music in Shadowbringers is so fucking good. Like, we're just in Yulmore, we're in Kalusia right now, but wait until we get to Amarang. Amarang's theme is fantastic. Here, he's breathing, I think, though he won't last long without help. Come on, weakened wretch, get the fuck up. That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. Excuse me. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I love that you can learn what Lahi means. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever going to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristel. I was invited to Yulmore to work as an artist. Aww. Ah. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them. But when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless. Grave sin in Lord Vothry's city. Within days, they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the god's damned ocean. We joke about Lahi, but also Lahi goes fucking hard. I love that song. It goes so hard, and Soken performs it so well. Do you know Lahi? From up there? How were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment. Uh-huh. Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vothry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. I don't like this Lord Vothry guy. He sounds like a cunt. That fire's chased the chill from my bones. Thank you again. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. Must be something we can do. Well, that guy was hired as an artist. But first, we should convey Tristel to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. A way into the city. Poor Keiko had to watch that live on stage without cracking up. Tristel, how are you walking? It's like, what, a 10-story drop? 15-story drop? Oh, it's pretty high up there. The only thing I can assume is that, like, he dropped into... So, generally when you fall from high enough up, the surface tension of the water, if you're high enough up, it can be like hitting concrete. But if there is something that falls before you, or if like the area that you're falling into is like particularly choppy, hold on. Thought I heard something. I might need to just be right back. 1 second, everybody. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. I thought I heard Natalie, and I want to make sure she was alright. She's doing fine. So we're probably going to be finishing up here shortly, within like the next 15 minutes. And we'll we'll pick back up on the Yulemore plot thread here next week. And also, probably next week is when we're going to do Heaven's Turn. I didn't want to do Heaven's Turn this week because we were starting Shadowbringers. So we will be doing it next week. I wonder what Tristal will do now. Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Yulemore, insofar as I am able at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach, but since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulemoran elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain? This is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with that city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move to new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. Well, lucky for us, Alphino does actually have some artistic talents. Should you make it into the city, have care what you say and do. I wouldn't want you to save my life only to lose your own. City of Final Pleasures. Alphino weighs the brush he received from Tristal, deep in thought. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristal has repaid us with a gift as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps in to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. Yeah, and you did it all to impress girls. As for you, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. Aye. Then it is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. Yeah, alright. Love a vile jester. No, I don't want to do the fate. I'm good. Now we wait. Should be as good a place as any. Oh shit. Here they come. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door. We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we've a place for a painter of a plum. So come along and don't be slow, it's time to let your colors show. I can paint. Portraits at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. Oh-ho, I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel.
What proof have you of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person? Sadly not. Everything I paint is soon sold. Such is the life of a working artist. I have only my brush to testify for me, but you will note that it has seen no small amount of service. Look. See? It's there. Aha! Ho ho! Flecks of paint, both old and new, a tool much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop. Very well, come with us and we'll put those talents to the test. And who is this hanger-on? Well-wisher or parasite? Why, this is my assistant. She whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I will go with her or not at all. Parasite, then. We shall leave her fate in the hands of your new employer. It matters not a whit to us. And having filled our latest vacant space, we retire to Yulemore's sweet embrace. Oi, fuck off, then! Oh, mercy me, the meal! We almost took our leave without leaving a loving token. We must empty the sacks ere we make our way back. I got a sack for you, I mean, what? Who said that?
Redemption is beyond us.
Oh, well, okay.
The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days.
Yulemore. Oh, the one guy in the crowd who's like, hell fuck yes, oh my fucking god, meal!
Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
I remember when I finally got to Shadowbringers, a bunch of my friends, including Natalie, were so excited for me to be here. They were over on those stairs, just dancing while I was going through the dialogue. Yulemore, finally. Looks even grander from this angle, eh? Eh? Welcome, welcome to the City of Final Pleasures. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. No? Not even a single tear? Moving right along, then. Aww. Our first task is to register you as residents. You know, make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way, so you just need to put on your happy faces and head on through to Joyous Hall. The Bureau of Immigration is in the first room on the left side of the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice, loud voice. The clerks will tell you where to go from there. Oh, and pay no mind to those folk off to the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gate Town, they haven't earned the rights to enter the city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow man, then by all means, take your time. But why waste another moment? Go, enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise. Aigel goes into the bureau and screams her name and occupation. My name, Aigel. Gentlewoman eventual. Bureau of Immigration, was it? Suppose we had better show ourselves willing for the time being. Oh, we get one of my favorite dialogue choices shortly. One of the best in the game, honestly. Excuse me, sir. My name, Aigel Sjork. Gentlewoman adventure. I mean, this guy's assistant. Welcome to Yulemore. Fortunate friends, may I have your names? I am Alphino, an artist, and this is Aigel, my assistant. Ah, yes, I was informed of your imminent arrival. We can forego the usual interview and begin processing your registration papers forthwith. And I'm going to be beating up Nero when you get there. Are you running Prey again? Now, the citizens of Yulmore are divided into two classes. There are the free, who are blessed with the favor of Lord Vothry, and the bonded, who are work in the employ of the free. You'll be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron in the capacity for which you were chosen, in your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patron dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor among the free or accept work as a general laborer. I see. Might you tell us something of the patron we are to serve? The two patrons, actually. Chai Nuz and Dulia Chai, a mystical couple whom most refer to as the Chais. The best characters in all of Shadowbringers. They're both gentle souls, but I would ask that you conduct yourselves with respect and humility, for your own sake as much as theirs. Now, a moment please, while I complete the relevant paperwork. Love the Chais. The Chais are great. They love each other so much. All in order. These are your registration documents. Thanks, man. Take those papers next door and submit them to the clerk. Once they've been stamped, you will officially be Yulmoran citizens. Enjoy your new life in paradise. Thanks, bruh. You know, I'm thinking about it. If they do end up... I don't think they're going to add any more races to FF14. But if they do, what are they going to call them in the source? Or in the first? A question for the ages.
Welcome to the Bureau of Registration. Papers, please.
Here you go. Or are you voiced, actually? Oh, hold on.
What have we here? Alphino, artist. Hygeld, artist assistant. To be employed in the service of Lord Chai Nuz and Lady Dulia Chai.
Reminder, they have different names in Tyrol, too. Yeah, for the ones that, like, are actually there. Like, don't forget, I don't think Ora are native to Tyrol. Or they don't, or at the very least, they don't have an equivalence in Tyrol. So that one I'm not quite as worried about. But like in Shadowbringers, when you get to the first, they make a note of having your character referred to by the local name for the race, whether it's Hume, Elf, Dwarf, Drawn, Galgent, Mistel, Vis, Ronso. So it would be interesting if they do ever add like a new race to the game. It would be interesting to see how they handle that if you're playing as that race at the beginning of Shadowbringers.
Yes, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is hereby approved. I think it best that we deliver you to the Chai residence before... Oh dear. You smell hideous.
I'm sorry? I don't think I smell that bad. What do you think they call the Banga? Uh-oh, stinky.
Did you crawl through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat and the musk of some unwashed beast.
Wow, not very... Don't mince words here in Yulmore, I guess. Not a lot of tact on display.
Proceed directly to the delousery next door and scrub yourselves clean. Use whichever showers are free. After you've rinsed away that stench, you'll want to splash yourselves with this perfume. Liberally. Once you've made yourself presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai residence. Cornen, the guard by the stairs, will give you directions.
Damn, alright. I didn't realize we were so aromatic. Igale doing the inspect stealth emote. She's just like, I don't smell that bad, do I? We have to bathe in here, then. To be fair, there's a lot of her to inspect. True. You rinse yourself clean in the stream of water. Make sure to get all the crevices. I feel so fresh and so clean. Look at all those seashells. Where? Oh, yeah, they're just kind of all over the floor, aren't they? It's weird. Alright. Splash a bit of this. Pay no attention to how fucking cluttered my inventory is. You apply the perfume as directed, and the delicate scent of roses fills the air. Oh, you've showered and dressed already, have you? Is it not? That is to say, it seems rather exposed for one's ablutions, does it not? Hurry up and shower, Stinky. Fine, just a quick rinse then. All of these are in character. Well, that was bracing. I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. Like Eichel would say them one after the other. Shall we go and present ourselves to our new patrons, then? Uh-huh. We'll need directions to the Chai residence. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city's laid out, then. Imagine 3 layers, one on top of the other. This layer here is called the buttress. Above us is the understory, where the military has its headquarters. Above that, you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Yulmore spend their days. So if you want to find your new patrons, you'll need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs. Then look for the Grand Dame's parlor. They'll be in there like as not. Okay. I understood all that. Like in literally any other dialogue choice, Alice would have showered by now would be the winner. Haha, butts. Buttress those feelings now. Buttress them. I know, I'm trying to buttress. God, I should rewatch Glass Onion sometime. Glass Onion's such a fucking good movie. When's the next one supposed to be coming out? What's it called? Wake Up, Dead Man? I'm so excited. Fucking love the Benoit Blanc stories. Well, what is it? Spit it out then. Hello, patrons! Oh?
Oh, who's this then?
Hey everybody, say hi to your favorite character in the expansion.
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Oh my god, the way he fucking said that. I would kill for Dulia Chai. She would just need to give me a name. And just... Honestly.
There they are, the only straights in this game with rights. They're the only straights who are okay. Relatively speaking. Like, no one in Yulemore is okay. Realistically. But the Chais are less not okay than some others.
Ah, you must be the new,
Yeah, artist, man. Just said it.
Goodness me! What an adorable boy! That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers.
I love her. And I love him. China's loves his wife so much.
I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he will paint us the most delightful pictures.
And you gotta respect it.
Yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
You'll have to forgive him a little bit.
Welcome to Yulemore.
Alfino, if it please you, my lady.
They'll get better.
Is my assistant.
They don't know anything. They don't know any better right now, but they will improve. Don't worry.
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
I'm not so much a protege as I
We are
am.
family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all.
I watched him pay way too much for a samurai sword once.
Of all people, 'tis she who best understands my work. With her unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations.
Yeah, he learned to draw to impress girls. So you know he good.
Begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than her being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city she has so longed to see?
Yeah, I've really
Out of
wanted to
gratitude for her priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on her behalf.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna say a goddamn thing. I feel like he's enjoying this too much.
Of such devotion. Of course your assistant must have her wish. She shall be free to roam to our heart's content.
You are too good for this world, Dulia.
Isn't that right, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
Time to go a-snooping. Next time in Final Fantasy XIV. That's going to be it for today. I want to thank everybody for coming by the stream. I hope you all had a good time. I know I did. If you enjoyed the stream, you can subscribe here on Twitch. We have special emotes for subscribers. You can also follow me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at AcidXShark. That's AcidXShark, where I post all the streams as they happen. Or you can follow me on YouTube at AcidXShark, where I post all the streams after they happen. And where Hunt Down the Freeman will be going up once I get this shit with fucking Disney sorted out. Art for the stream. Chat blocker was done by Isaac, who you can find on Twitter at Knucklebone. That's Knuckle Bone. Isaac's a great artist, great person. Highly recommend checking his stuff out if you get the chance. VTuber was done by Audrey and B of Team Capital. You can find on Blue Sky, Tumblr, Twitch, YouTube, VGen, at Team Capital. That's TEAMCATPLE. They do fantastic work. Highly recommend checking their stuff out. Highly recommend commissioning them. If you do commission them, use the VGen. Don't email them. I actually sent them a VGen request recently. I'm hoping to get some new art from them. Not for a stream or anything, just something that I've got in mind. But yeah. Audrey and B are great. You should definitely give them your patronage. upcoming streams. Tomorrow, is it based on your writing? No. Though I am hoping to get some stuff for that soonish. I've got an artist that I'm looking at for that. An artist who's actually working on some stream art for me right now. That I am considering going to for some art based on some characters for like the work that I'm writing right now. Just to get like visual references for those characters like down pat, but there's some stuff I got to make sure that I take care of first. It's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. But yeah, upcoming streams tomorrow. So I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do tomorrow just yet. Normally a Friday stream would be Darksiders 2, Sonic with Team Catpull, although I might wait until next week for that, just because I haven't actually reached out to Catpull to see if they're good to join for tomorrow. And I don't like to ask them like last minute or anything. I try to give them a fair amount of prep time for that. But I also might want to do Shadow of Mordor. Audrey might still be dying from sickness, you're correct. But Saturday, we will be continuing Resident Evil Revelations. Next Wednesday, we'll definitely be doing Shadow of Mordor. And next Thursday, we will be starting with the new Heaven's Turn event. And then moving on to finishing up Yulemoor in Shadowbringers and starting in an Amarang. Where nothing bad will happen, I'm sure. So I hope you'll tune in for that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I'll see you next time on the Shark Stream. Same Shark time, same Shark channel. Take care, everybody.